From the NBC 24 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Thompson with a quick update to your forecast. And as expected, things have become fairly active across northwest Ohio and southeast Michigan as we've made our way through our Wednesday afternoon. It's been nearly nonstop rainfall across our area ever since the lunchtime hour. All of this out in advance of a powerful cold front that is heading in our direction. Many locations have already picked up between an inch and a half of rainfall, and that's as of 4 p.m. And there's more rain expected, so flooding a definite concern as we go through the rest of this evening. We will have to watch out for some standing water on the roadways, and I'm sure some of you have some basements you may be a little concerned about because there's been a lot of water so far with the system. You also see this red box that has popped up. We are under a tornado watch for northwest Ohio and southeast Michigan for every single one of our counties. That goes until 9 p.m. Wednesday evening. Now, it's a marginal severe weather threat. We're kind of right on the threshold of whether or not we'll see severe weather. So it's not a guarantee, but the main concern is out ahead of this cold front, there's some very strong low-level winds, and they may be strong enough to maybe just produce a brief spin-up. So that's why there is that watch in effect. Remember, a watch means conditions are favorable for possible tornadoes as well as severe weather. So it's not a guarantee, but do want to be on extra alert here as we go through this evening. These aren't going to be the big type of tornadoes you see out in the Great Plains or like the one that hit Lake back in a few years ago, but it's just going to be kind of your weaker type tornadoes if any are able to form. But that said, they're still going to produce winds of 70, 100, 120 miles per hour, and that could of course be destructive and life-threatening. It's not something you want to get caught out in. This cold front will continue to barrel through as we go through the rest of the overnight. And once it does that, we're going to be seeing a big cool down as we head into the second half of the work week. You see the 70s and 80s out ahead of that front, dropping back into the 50s. We won't get quite that cool, but we are talking highs only in the 60s for the remainder of the work week. Rest of your Wednesday night calls for rain and thunderstorms, some of them strong. The main window I think we're looking at is between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. That's when the severe threat will be at its highest. Along with that small tornado threat, we could also see some very strong wind gusts as that second line of storm starts to form. We can see gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Like we talked about, the flooding issues are a concern as well. And with that front moving through, those winds will be switching from the south to the northwest, and they'll be fairly brisk, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Low temperatures in the upper 50s. For your day on Thursday, partly sunny, first real blast of autumn air, highs only in the mid to upper 60s, and there'll be a little bit of a chilly breeze as well out of the north at 5 to 15 and occasionally gusting a little bit higher than that. And don't expect to warm up anytime soon. We keep these temperatures in the 60s into the weekend. In fact, as we go into Friday evening, a second, much weaker cold front will move its way on through. That may spawn off a couple of spotty, drizzly showers. Not expected to be anything significant, but there may be a couple of raindrops out there for Friday night football. Not going to see any delays or postponements like that, like last week. But you can see it cools us off even more for the day on Saturday. Highs only in the low 60s. Overnight lows dropping into the 40s by the time we get into the weekend. We'll watch for another chance for some rainfall as we go into next Monday. And again, a good stretch here of highs only in the 60s. Maybe we creep back up in the low 70s by the end of the 10-day trend. But for at least the next week, expect cool weather after this front barrels through.